Despite being a Democrat stronghold, the Republican Party could potentially flip New Jersey. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and I hope everyone is having a great day. I am certainly having a great day myself, and before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and of course, join the channel today. Again, these are all great ways to support the daily content, but enough of the promotional stuff. Let us get into it because it appears that the Republican Party has a brand new battleground state they could potentially flip. And I'm not talking about Minnesota, Virginia, New Hampshire, Maine. No, those are obvious choices. We have a brand new battleground state potentially in New Jersey. Yes, I said it. The state of New Jersey, the same state that back in 2020 voted for Biden by just under 16 percentage points. Yeah, the same state I really believe the Republican Party have found a brand new battleground state in. Now, I want to be clear that this doesn't mean that whoever the Republican Party runs in 2028, whether it's Vance, DeSantis, whoever, it doesn't mean that they're going to automatically flip this seat. I am not saying that at all. But I really believe that down the line, if the Republican Party is smart, they could potentially flip New Jersey. And I know that sounds crazy because, like I said, it voted for Biden by over 15 points in 2020, and it has been a Democrat stronghold since the 80s. So to suggest that, hey, maybe Republicans could flip it in 2028, that sounds crazy. But on election night, we saw the biggest surprise of any state. The state of New Jersey was within 6 points. Yeah, New Jersey, a safe Democrat state that no one, and I mean no one, thought was going to be this close. Now, most people with a brain thought, okay, it was probably going to swing like 4 to 5 points to the right. Just because New York City has had such a big shift as well that, on paper at least, you should see some kind of shift in New Jersey, right? So the idea was it was going to shift Republican, but not by 10 points, by maybe 4 or 5. I thought it was maybe a 2 to 3 point shift. But nope, it was a 10-point shift in New Jersey. Despite the Republican Party spending virtually nothing here, outside of a single rally that Trump did back in like July, which a lot of people gave him a lot of shit for it, outside of that, he did nothing here. Well, despite that, it was within 6 points. It was closer than the state of Arizona is right now. Yeah, Arizona right now is R+7. And when all the votes are counted, it's probably going to be Trump +8. The state of New Jersey is closer than Arizona. Imagine saying that to someone just a couple weeks ago. Hell, just 4 days ago. And if you would have told me that a week ago, I would have said you're crazy, you're delusional, that's not going to happen, you're talking about a red wave. Well, we all know what happened. Trump won everywhere, including in states like New Jersey, where, for some reason, he got it within 6 points. Now, some people are going to say, well, this was a fluke, It was just Trump doing so good in the state because Kamala Harris was such a weak candidate that it's just a one-off occurrence. Well, guess what? It's not. Because on the same election night, there was a Senate race here. And Andy Kim, who is a very strong Democrat. He is a big overperformer in New Jersey. All right, he overperforms Democrats every single year by a lot. Well, guess what? He outperformed Harris, but by only 2 to 3 points. Yeah, the Republican for the Senate seat got it within 10. Guys, does this sound like a fluke? I know the Republican underperformed Trump, but it was still within 10 points. It wasn't by 15 points. It was within 10, which is super impressive because this is Andy Kim. This is not some random Democrat that underperforms every year. No, this is Andy Kim. When he ran for the House, he outperformed Democrats every single time. Yet even Andy Kim couldn't win New Jersey by more than 10. He won it by 9 points, and that's it. But fine. You could argue maybe 2024 was a complete fluke. Maybe this was a one-off occurrence in 2024 that cannot be replicated in 2025, in 2026, or even in 2028. Well, guess what? This was not a one-off occurrence. In fact, in recent years, there have been signs of a red New Jersey potentially brewing. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that means that Trump's good or whoever runs in 2028 is gonna, win the state. It just means in recent years, not just in 2024, there are signs that New Jersey is shifting to the right. Look at 2022. Now, I know 2022 was a very bizarre year, but in the state of New Jersey, there was a mini red wave. Look at the second. Jeff Van Drew did 14 points better than Trump. The fourth, Smith did 13 points better. Republicans up and down the ballot in 2022 in New Jersey, they outperformed Trump everywhere. Not by 1 point, by a lot, by 14 points, by 7, by 6, by 5, by 7. And there were some districts that had a shift to the left, but the majority of the House seats in New Jersey had a big shift to the right. And there was a mini red wave in 2022. But fine, a midterm isn't everything, and maybe this was because of New York City having a huge shift to the right. Well, guess what? The same thing happened in 2021. This took everyone by complete surprise, and everyone just forgot about it. Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican, came within 3.5 points of beating Phil Murphy for the governorship. Yeah, he didn't lose by 15 points, he lost by 3. That's it. Not by 15, not by 20, by 3.5 points. Despite the Republican Party giving him nothing and spent all that money on California for whatever reason, Jack Ciattarelli came within 3 points of beating Phil Murphy. And this was a first sign of, hey, maybe there's something in New Jersey. Maybe there is a pathway for Republicans in the state. Because Jack Ciattarelli had no money, and quite frankly had no support whatsoever from the RNC, and he came within 3 points of beating Phil Murphy. And all the polls had him losing by like 10 points. There were like 1 or 2 that had the race within 5, but the vast majority of people thought Jack Ciattarelli was going to get crushed. Maybe he would outperform Trump, but it wasn't going to be by much. Well, look what happened. He got 48% of the vote and came very close to winning. He came very close to winning in New Jersey in 2021. So that's 4 straight years of what seems to be a Republican surge in the state. If this was just a one-off occurrence, fine, it's a fluke. But it's not. It's a consistent trend. 2021, 2022, 2024. They all are indicating there might be a Republican surge in New Jersey. And if that's the case, that is awful for Democrats. And not only that, there's actually voter registration to indicate it's not just a fluke. Look at this. And I know voter registration isn't everything, but back in 2020, Democrats led voter registration by 1.1 million votes. As of November of 2024, they're up by only 906,000 votes. That's it. Their advantage went down by 200,000 votes in just 4 years. Hell, just in 2 years. Back in 2022, Democrats led by only 1.1 million votes as well. So just in 2 years, Democrats lost 200,000 votes in their voter registration advantage. That's a big deal. And you look at the change from October, Republicans gained 16,000 voters in the last month. Democrats gained only 6,000. So it wasn't just, Republicans did something crazy back in 2023 and that's it. No. In the month of October, Republicans out-registered Democrats 2-1 in New Jersey. What was, everyone thought, a Democrat state. Does this really look like this was a fluke in 2024? Because if it was a fluke, we wouldn't have seen anything in 2022 or even 2021, but we did. And the voter registration is indicating that maybe Republicans have something here. They're clearly gaining in voter registration, while Democrats, there's a lot of signs against them. There's a lot of trends against them in New Jersey. I mean, just look at the shift map. And I know not every county is in, but look at Essex County. It shifted 11 points Republican. Bergen, 13 points. I mean, for crying out loud, Trump flipped Passaic County. This same county back in 2020 voted for Biden by over 16 points. That is a 20-point shift in Passaic. Places like Somerset, same thing. Harris won it by 13 points back in 2020. Biden won it by 21 points. So it wasn't just one county had a huge surge for the Republican Party. No, it's basically every county showing a huge surge for Trump. And whether it's the northern part of the state or the southern part, there was a clear trend. For crying out loud, Hudson County, right next to New York City, Harris won it by only 28 points. And I know there's some votes outstanding, but let's just say she won it by 28. Back in 2020, Biden won it by 46 points. Does this look like a fluke? If it was just one county, fine. If that's a fluke, that's whatever. It's not. And it's not just a couple Democrat counties either. Look at Ocean County. It voted for Trump by over 36 points. In 2020, Trump won it by 29 points. Yeah. So it's not just a single or even a couple Democrat counties right next to New York City. It's even central and southern New Jersey that is much more Republican, having a big shift towards the GOP. Again, does this sound like a fluke? If it was a fluke, we'd only be seeing a shift in Hudson and that's it. But it's not. It's every single county, whether it's a Democrat area, a Republican area, a purple area, it doesn't matter. There was a consistent trend against Democrats in New Jersey. Now, what does this mean for the electoral map? Well, this is where things get kind of crazy. And like I said, I am not saying that this means that whoever the Republican Party runs in 2028 is going to win the state. But let's just say J.D. Vance is the nominee and he loses states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, New Hampshire, Virginia, and let's just say Georgia for now. Well, under the old map, it would basically mean he's done. Because in this scenario, whoever the Democrat Party runs, they would just need a single state, which is possible with Pennsylvania, to win, right? And even if Vance wins Nevada, wins Arizona, wins North Carolina, he would still lose. But if you win Pennsylvania, he would win. But let's just say something crazy happens in, I don't know, Nevada. Well, let's just say the trends in Nevada were a complete fluke, and let's say he loses Nevada. Well, in this scenario, he loses the presidency. But let's just say the campaign puts a real effort into New Jersey, and let's just say the trends in the state accelerate, and maybe, just maybe, they flip the state. And I know that sounds crazy and it's very unlikely, but under this scenario, whoever the Republican Party runs would win the presidency. And I know it's very unlikely because more than likely, if Vance is winning New Jersey, more than likely he's winning Virginia, winning Georgia, so it wouldn't really matter. But the fact that we're even talking about New Jersey being potentially competitive is not good news for Democrats whatsoever, because that's another state they have to defend. And it gives the Republican Party another opportunity to win. And at that point, it doesn't really matter what happens in Georgia down the line. If they hold on to Arizona, North Carolina, and win Pennsylvania, well, in this scenario, just get New Jersey and they win. And it's unlikely, I know, but that gives the Republican Party that extra pathway to winning. That's why it's a big deal that we're even talking about it. And I know it's very unlikely for New Jersey to flip. But right now, based on the trends we're seeing out of the state, I think it's possible. I think there is a possibility or in a pathway for a Republican to win New Jersey. It's unlikely, but if the trends continue, like let's say J.D. Vance comes much closer in Hudson, Bergen, Essex, and runs it up in places like Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, Ocean counties. When you start doing the math, the idea of a red New Jersey isn't as crazy as some would suggest. And I know I'm not saying that Vance is going to win it. I still think Democrats are heavily favored here, but the fact that we're even talking about New Jersey is crazy. But there are trends that indicate, hey, maybe the Republican Party should invest a lot of time and money into New Jersey. Because it's clear the Republican Party has something here, at least on paper they do. But we'll see what the Republican Party does. Hopefully they don't invest all their money on, like, California or something, because that's fool's gold. You're not going to win California. You have a much easier pathway in New Jersey. If you keep up trying to flip these votes in places like Essex, Hudson, the pathway for Republicans here becomes so much more easier. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.